It began with silence. No warships, no warning, just a single human vessel drifting at the edge of alien space. It carried no weapons, no flags, only a message then. Across every channel, in every language, the words echoed, "You want war. Then prepare." To be erased at first, the galaxy laughed, a lone human daring to threaten empires. Ridiculous, but laughter soon turned to fear. Within hours, something impossible happened. One by one, alien outposts vanished. Not destroyed, not attacked, gone. As if they were never there. No explosions, no wreckage, just nothing. The news spread like fire. Panic followed close behind. Governments called emergency meetings. Scientists searched for answers. Military fleets were put on high alert, but no one could explain. Who was this human? Why had he come alone? And what kind of power could erase entire bases without a sound? No one knew his name, no records matched his face, he had no history, no past, just a warning that shook the stars. Some said he was a god, others believed he was a weapon, a few thought he was mad, but one thing was clear, he wasn't bluffing. As more posts disappeared, fear grew into terror. Entire colonies watched the skies, waiting, wondering was he coming for them next, and if he did, would they even know it? His ship remained still silent, watching. He hadn't fired a shot yet. The whole galaxy trembled. Who is this man? What does he want? And most importantly, what happens when he decides it's time to act? No one knew where he came from. No government claimed him. No army listed his name. He was a ghost, a man without a past. But the truth was buried deep. Years ago, he had been a hero, a soldier who saved millions. He fought in Earth's last great war, not for power, not for gold, but for survival. After the war ended, peace returned, but so did weakness. He watched as humanity gave up its strength. Leaders begged for alien approval, soldiers became guards, weapons were locked away. He saw what others ignored, that humans were no longer feared, they were seen as easy prey. One day he vanished. Some said he died in space, others believed he went mad. But now he was back, not as a soldier, not as a diplomat, as something new. He didn't come to save weak humans, he came to remind the galaxy that humans were never truly gone. His message wasn't just a warning, it was a promise. And now the galaxy had no choice but to remember his kind, not as victims, but as warriors. Who was he? A man forgotten by Earth, a legend waiting to be born. And as his ship floated silently in the dark, the stars themselves seemed to watch, because this human was not here to ask for peace. He was here to bring fear. The alien fleet arrived fast. Dozens of warships glowing with power surrounded the lone human vessel. They had no fear, no doubt. To them, this was a joke. A single ship standing against an empire. Voice came over the comms. "Human, you are trespassing. Power down your engines and prepare for capture." Silence. Then the human replied, "Turn back or be erased." Laughter filled the alien command deck, but not everyone saw something strange in his eyes. Calm certainly ignored the warning. Engines roared, weapons locked. The order was given, fire. Energy beams lit up. Space explosions bloomed where the human ship once floated, but then it appeared again, untouched, just outside the blast zone. Before anyone could react, his ship fired one shot. That's all it took. One bright flash, one moment of silence. Then, one alien cruiser was simply gone. No fire, no debris, no signal, just empty. Space shock spread across the fleet. Orders were shouted, defenses raised. But panic had already begun. More ships turned their weapons toward the human. Another strike team launched again. He warned, "This is your last chance, turn back." They didn't listen. Another shot. Another cruiser vanishes. And another. The galaxy had never seen anything like it. Across planets, news spread like wildfire. Scientists had no answers. Leaders had no plans. Only one truth remained. This wasn't just a math, this was judgment across the galaxy. Scientists worked nonstop. Military leaders held secret meetings. Every empire tried to understand what had happened, but no one could explain it. The humans' weapon didn't destroy ships, it made them disappear, like they were never there. Some called it a quantum eraser. Others believed it was a black hole generator. A few whispered that it wasn't even science, but something older, something beyond reason. Spread faster than facts. Rumors filled the streets. Was he working with gods? Had he stolen alien tech? Or had he become something else entirely? In hidden labs, researchers studied footage frame by frame. They scanned energy readings, searched for weak points, tried to find a way to stop him. They found nothing. Even the strongest minds couldn't reverse engineer his power. Every theory failed, every test ended in confusion. And then came the real problem. Panic colonies shut down trade routes. Ships refused to travel alone. Entire planets watched the skies at night, waiting. Was he coming for them next? On news channels, voices argued. Some said he was a monster. Others said he was a hero. But most just asked the same question. What happens if he decides Earth is next? Children whispered his name like a ghost. Soldiers trained for a war they knew they couldn't win. Leaders sent secret messages asking for help from old enemies, from forgotten allies. But no one had an answer. No weapons could stop him. No shields could block his fire. One man, one ship, one warning. And now the galaxy understood this. Wasn't just a message, it was a declaration. Something new had arrived, and no one was ready for it. Earth watched in silence. Every leader, every soldier, every citizen saw the same message flash across their skies. Bow or burn. The human had turned the galaxy upside down. Now he was speaking directly to his own kind. Was this salvation or destruction? Across the planet, reactions exploded. Like fire, some called him a traitor, others called him a savior, but everyone agreed on one thing. This was no empty threat. Governments scrambled. The United Earth Council held emergency meetings. Debates turned into shouting matches. No one knew what to do. Some leaders wanted peace at any cost. They feared another attack. They begged for surrender. Not to fight, but to survive. But others saw something else. They saw a chance to rise again. For years, Earth had begged aliens for respect. It had traded its pride for safety. Its armies were weak, its people afraid. Now, someone had reminded the stars what humans could do still. Fear won. The first round, the council sent a reply: no to war, no to violence. We are peaceful, but the human had never asked for peace. He had offered strength, and now Earth would have to choose. Did it want to stay weak, or did it want to rise? His answer came fast from the dark. His ship spoke once more. You had a chance, you threw it away. Then he aimed his weapon, not at aliens, but at Earth. At that moment, two paths opened. One path led to shame, fear, and weakness. The other, to fire, to war, to rebirth. And as the countdown began, the world held its breath. Would Earth bow? Some alien rulers saw the human not as a threat, but as a chance, a way to rise above old enemies. A new power to follow. Others saw only Nutha. First to kneel were the Variks, a war-torn species crushed by stronger empires. Their leaders sent a message: we will stand with the human. They weren't alone. Small colonies, forgotten races, and exiled warriors began to gather behind him. They called themselves the New Dawn. They believed the galaxy had become weak, ruled by fear and lies, and now they had hope. But not everyone welcomed this change. The Zarnok Dominion, one of the oldest and strongest powers in space, declared war. This human is a plague, their leader said. He brings chaos. He must be stopped. A great alliance formed against him. Dozens of warships, thousands of soldiers, all with one mission: destroy the human. At the heart of this fight stood Captain Korvex, a Zarnak warrior known for never failing. He had crushed rebellions, erased entire planets, and never once lost a battle. Now he had a new target: the lone. Humunkervex studied every move, every battle, every word. Then he made his choice. He would hunt the human down, not with ships, not with armies alone. I will face him myself, he said. Let the stars see who is truly stronger. Across the galaxy, billions watched. Some hoped for peace, others waited for blood. The human had changed everything now. The galaxy had to decide: would it fall to his rule or rise against him? And in the dark of space, Captain Korvex set his course straight toward the unknown. The human was not born with power. He had earned it through fire, through loss, through war. Long ago, before his name was known across stars, he was part of a lost colony, Earth 9b. Far beyond the core systems, it was a peaceful world, a second home for humans seeking new lives. But peace never lasts. The Variks attacked without warning. They claimed the planet was in their space. They gave no chance to surrender. Earth 9b fought back. They were outgunned, outnumbered, but they did not fall quietly. The human, just a young soldier then, watched as his home burned, his family, his friends, everyone he loved. Gone in fire and silence, he was the last to leave. He carried nothing but pain. A promise: I will never let this happen again. In the years that followed, he vanished into deep space. Some said he died. Others believed he went mad, but he was building something, not a weapon, a message. warning he found, forgotten tech, lost science, ancient. Weapons left behind by civilizations long gone. From pain, he built power. From grief, he built fear. His ship became more than metal, and fire it became justice. And now the galaxy knew this was not revenge. This was judgment for every world destroyed, for every life taken, for every cry ignored. He had seen what weakness brought. Now he would show them what strength could do. Across the stars, the truth spread. This human wasn't just fighting for himself, he was fighting for all who had been erased and for those who still remembered what it meant to be feared. The galaxy was at war. One side fought for control, the other for change, and now the final battle was coming. Captain Corvex had failed. He challenged the human alone. He believed strength would win, but he saw the truth. This human wasn't just a soldier, he was something new. Instead of returning in shame, Corvex made a choice. He turned his ship around and flew toward the human side. "I was wrong," he said. "You are not our enemy, you are our only hope." Together they formed a Plana strike force, unlike any before. Human, an alien soldier and rebel enemy, and a Letha mission attacked the heart of the Zarnok. Dominion, the capital planet. Billions watched as the news spread. Earth was finally moving, not in fear and fire. Young soldiers stepped forward. Old warriors returned. Ships that had been silent for years roared to life. Hope had returned from every corner. Of space fighters joined the cause. Some came for justice, others for revenge. Many simply wanted to be part of something bigger. The human stood aboard his ship, looking at the growing fleet. This was no longer his war. It belonged to everyone who had ever been silenced, everyone who had ever been erased. He spoke to them all. "This is not the end, this is the beginning. We rise together, or we fall alone." Engines ignited, weapons locked. The stars themselves seemed to watch, because today the galaxy would remember what humans could don't. Tomorrow would belong to those who dared fight. The stars burned red with fire. Earth was under attack. The Zarnok Dominion had come with everything they had. A storm of warships, weapons, and death. Cities lit up with explosions. Skies turned black with smoke. Millions ran for shelter as the ground shook beneath them. This was not just a battle, it was a message. The galaxy wanted Earth gone, but they hadn't counted on one thing: the human had returned. From deep space, his fleet arrived, fast and furious ships from freed colonies, fighters from forgotten worlds, soldiers who had nothing left to lose. They dove into the fight like thunder. Lasers tore through the sky. Missiles roared like storms in the chaos. The human ship cut through enemy lines like a blade. He spoke across every channel: "This is not your world to take." Captain Corvex fought beside him, covering the retreat of Earth's civilians. "Your people are lucky," Corvex said. "They have someone willing to die for them. They don't need me to die." The human replied, "They need me to win." And he did. With every shot, every move, every command, he turned the tide. But it came at a cost. One by one ships fell, heroes were lost, friends disappeared in fire. Still, they held the line. Then came the final strike, a massive alien warship aimed straight at Earth's capital. There was no time, no plan, only action. The human gave the order. "I'll take it." "No," Corvex shouted. "You can't." But he was already gone. His ship fired its last weapon. A flash of light, silence. Then the enemy warship was Ganand. So was he. For a moment, the battlefield stood still. Then a voice rose across every speaker on Earth. "He saved us." The stars remembered that day, not because Earth survived, but because one man made sure it would. The war was over. The Zarnok Dominion had fallen. Their leaders surrendered, their fleets broken. The galaxy changed forever. But the human was gone. No body, no signal, just silence. His ship vanished in that final blast. A weapon so strong, not even light, survived across Earth, and the stars. People mourned. Not just for a warrior, but for something more. For hope, children whispered his name like thunder. Soldiers trained in his memory. Leaders built statues in places he once flew over. Legends gruesome said he wasn't really human. Others believed he would return one day. A few claimed he was never a man at all, just a symbol of what humans could become. But one message remained, carved into every world he saved: never forget what happened, never let it happen again. Earth rose from the ashes, stronger, prouder, no longer asking for peace, demanding respect. Races who once laughed now bowed their heads. Some feared humans again, others respected the man in deep space, where no one watched. Old enemies read his words and remembered they had tried to erase humanity's ed. They made a legend. Years passed, new wars came and went, But no one ever dared attack Earth again because somewhere, out among the stars, there were still whispers of a lone ship, single warning, and a human who said, "You want war?" Then prepared to be erased, and the galaxy never forgot. The war not, the power not, the Manthe remembered what it meant to fear humans again.